Hello everyone and welcome to today's Daily Splat. Now today, been a busy day, work again, keeping me very busy, but I went out to a pub that was doing karaoke this evening with some good friends of mine, Ryan and Marion, or Team Rohan as they're also known, and yeah, Ryan's still pretty damn good at the old karaoke singing thing. It was tremendous fun, but my goodness, some people can't sing, and I'm not a great singer before. I've never claimed to be, but I know when not to sing certain songs that are beyond me, and unfortunately, ABBA's Waterloo was definitely beyond these two ladies. Ooh. Anyway, today's subject, Skyrim. Now, for those of you in the video gaming community, this might seem fairly obvious to you. For those of you not really big on the whole thing, there was a video game that was released last week called Skyrim, which is by Bethesda Studios, who've produced a former favourite of mine, Fallout 3, a tremendous game, really, really good game. They're also the makers of the Elder Scrolls series. They made Oblivion, which came out 5 years ago, and this is the sequel, I suppose, or the fifth in the series of the Elder Scrolls series. This is Skyrim. Essentially, it's a magical RPG. Tolkien-esque is how it will also be described, because there's elves and magic and swords and that sort of thing. You play a character that you get to name and create their appearance, and you roleplay in this fantasy setting where there are dragons and snow and all sorts of that sort of thing. It's a fairly, I suppose, typical setting for these sort of fantasy things, but there is nothing that's particularly average about this game. This is obviously the first impressions video, and my first impressions with it have been it's really good. I wasn't a big fan of Oblivion. I got to it too late. I only got to it a couple of years ago, and it just felt very clunky, and it didn't capture me in the way that, well, for example, Fallout 3 did. Fallout 3 really did learn from... It really did benefit from the fact they did Oblivion before it. It learned some of the mistakes, and they fixed that, and obviously they've continued to tweak that now, because Skyrim is genuinely awesome, awe-inspiring in a sense. That graphically it looks very good, as you'd expect these things to do, but it's got some really nice details. The creatures look lovely. The dragons in particular, the few I've seen this early on, are actually quite scary, and I'm really liking it. The people, of course, the problem that Oblivion had is a lot of the people you'd speak to, when you spoke to them, the camera would zoom in like this, and they would be still, and they would go, yes, no, blah blah blah. Whereas now, if you're, say, over here and you're walking along, and then I'm the character and I'm just talking away, and then you get my attention, I turn to you, and stay at whatever distance I am, I suppose, and you can look around whilst that's going on, whilst I'm talking away over here. It's a small detail, but it's one that I appreciated. The menus are much more inviting than Oblivion was, and to an extent even Fallout was. It's simple, yet it works, and that's the thing with Skyrim, which I'm really impressed with, is for example, myself and my two brothers, Michael and Charlie, have both been, all three of us have been playing this game. Now, myself and Michael we're not novices to the RPG world. I'm a massive Final Fantasy X fan, and I've played some of the others of the series. Myself and Michael both were quite big Dragon Age Origins fans, and to an extent Dragon Age 2. That was a bit of a letdown by comparison, but Michael in particular, really big fan of Dragon Age Origins. My other brother Charlie, yeah, he's a fan of Origins. He's dabbled in some Final Fantasies, didn't really like it, but he loves Oblivion. Like, he played the heck out of it. We've got versions of it on Xbox, on PlayStation, and on PC that he's, put hours and hours, days of time into, basically. Now, he's an absolute nut for this sort of game, whereas my brother Michael and myself would be more closer to the average sort of gamer, the sort of passive. I don't really have a major interest in this. I didn't have an interest in Oblivion, to be honest. And I've started playing Skyrim, and I think it is very well put together, and I'm pretty captivated by it. My brother Michael as well, he's really enjoying it, so we're coming to this into not a complete novice level, but certainly as, I suppose, not previously great lovers of the series, and we think it's great. And our brother Charlie, who is a massive fan of Oblivion, he is absolutely loving it as well. I think it has managed to hit that hardcore and casual market. I think it's hit a really nice balance. It's not too easy, it's not too hard, and I mean, you get to shoot fire and lightning out of your hands at people. That's tremendously good fun. Of course, I've only scratched the surface, so to speak, but I'm really enjoying it, and I can tell this is going to be a game I'm going to be playing for quite some time, because it looks like it's going to be chock-a-block with content. So, sorry, Assassin's Creed Revelations, I might not get round to you for a bit. And Deus Ex Human Revolution, I'll get to you one day, I promise. Anyway, so there you go, first impressions of Skyrim. I would recommend it, very much so. Starting to get towards the end of the year, and obviously there's all that talk of Game of the Year stuff. I would say, obviously, at the start of this year we did the 2010 review, Daily Splatt video. We'll be doing the same for review of video games. We'll be doing the same, in January for the games of this year, and there's some absolute crackers. Just thinking about it, we've got LA Noire, Uncharted 3, FIFA 12. Well, maybe that one's just more me, but there's those sorts of games. Just having a look what else we've got on here. Batman Arkham City, which I've still got to get round to playing. That sort of thing. There's some cracking games around, and it's a good time of year. And then of course there's the shooters, which I'm not a fan of, so I'll leave them to the more qualified to talk about, I suppose. Anyway, that's enough. I suppose in short, Skyrim, quite good. I bought it and liked it, and maybe you should as well. Or maybe not, who knows. Anyway, that is all for today. Now make sure that you tune in tomorrow for another Daily Splat. It should be a good one. Something of a semi-important announcement about the next month or so of videos, because things are going to be a little different. I can't say why just yet, but if you tune in tomorrow, we'll discuss it then. Okay, that is all. Until then, bye-bye.